Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today, we're diving into the latest financial results from Central Depository Services India Limited, better known as CDSL.
That's right. CDSL is a crucial player in the Indian capital market infrastructure. As one of the two major central depositories in India, they facilitate holding securities in electronic form and enable securities transactions. They've also just celebrated their 25-year milestone and recently crossed a massive 14.50 crore demat accounts. They also have key subsidiaries like CDSL Ventures Limited or CVL, Centrico Insurance Repository Limited, and Countrywide Commodity Repository Limited.
Impressive numbers. So, they've released their audited financial results. What period are we looking at? And are we covering both their individual performance and the group picture?
Exactly. We're looking at their audited financial results for the fourth quarter, that's Q4, ended March 31st, 2025, and also for the full financial year 2024-25. The board approved these results on May 3rd, 2025. And yes, we have both the standalone results, CDSL on its own, and the consolidated results which included subsidiaries.
Perfect. Let's jump straight into the key numbers then. How did they fare on the revenue front for the quarter? Looking at the consolidated picture first, year over year and quarter over quarter?
Okay, starting with consolidated revenue from operations for Q4 FY25. It came in at 224.45 crore rupees. Comparing this year over year, it's actually down from the 240.78 crore rupees reported in Q4 FY24.
Down year over year? And what about sequentially, comparing Q4 to Q3?
Sequentially, it's also down. In Q3 FY25, ended December 31st, 2024, they reported 278.11 crore rupees. So a noticeable dip quarter over quarter as well for the consolidated revenue.
Interesting. How does that compare to the standalone revenue performance for CDSL itself? Same comparisons, year over year and quarter over quarter for Q4.
Right. For the standalone entity, revenue from operations in Q4 FY25 was 181.54 crore rupees. Year over year, this is slightly down from 185.08 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. And quarter over quarter, similar to the consolidated picture, it's down from the 220.97 crore rupees reported in Q3 FY25. So both standalone and consolidated revenues saw a decline in Q4, both compared to last year and the previous quarter.
Got it. Let's move to profitability. The investor presentation highlighted EBITDA for the standalone entity. Can you give us those numbers first?
Sure. The standalone EBITDA figures from the presentation show Q4 FY25 at 114 crore rupees. Year over year, that's down from 133 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. Quarter over quarter, it's also down significantly from 146 crore rupees in Q3 FY25.
Okay, standalone EBITDA down both ways. Now let's look at profit before tax or PBT for a consistent comparison across both standalone and consolidated. What are the consolidated PBT numbers for Q4?
Consolidated PBT for Q4 FY25 stood at 127.20 crore rupees. Year over year, this is down quite a bit from 168.40 crore rupees in Q4 FY24.
And the quarter over quarter trend for consolidated PBT?
Also down sequentially. It was 168.38 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. So consolidated PBT mirrors the revenue trend, down both year over year and quarter over quarter.
What about the standalone PBT for Q4?
Standalone PBT in Q4 FY25 was 101.63 crore rupees. Comparing year over year, that's down from 127.58 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. Sequentially, it's also down from 134.46 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. So the pressure on profitability in Q4 seems consistent across the board compared to both last year and the prior quarter.
Okay, let's look at the bottom line then. Profit after tax or PAT. Consolidated figures first for Q4.
Consolidated PAT for Q4 FY25 came in at 100.39 crore rupees. This is down year over year from 129.42 crore rupees in Q4 FY24.
And the quarter over quarter consolidated PAT?
Also down sequentially. Consolidated PAT was 129.81 crore rupees in Q3 FY25.
How does the standalone PAT look for Q4?
Standalone PAT for Q4 FY25 was 80.76 crore rupees. That's down year-over-year compared to 97.43 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. And sequentially, it's also down from 104.93 crore rupees in Q3 FY25.
So it seems Q4 was a softer quarter across revenue and profit metrics, both standalone and consolidated, compared to last year and especially compared to Q3. What about earnings per share (EPS)? And let's remember they had a bonus issue last year.
Good point on the bonus issue. The report notes that the EPS calculations have been adjusted for the 1:1 bonus issue completed in August 2024 as per Ind AS 33. So the numbers are comparable. For consolidated basic EPS in Q4 FY25, it was 4.80 rupees. This is down year-over-year from 6.18 rupees in Q4 FY24 and down quarter-over-quarter from 6.23 rupees in Q3 FY25.
And the standalone EPS for Q4?
Standalone basic EPS for Q4 FY25 was 3.86 rupees. This is down year-over-year from 4.66 rupees in Q4 FY24 and down quarter-over-quarter from 5.02 rupees in Q3 FY25.
Okay, what about other income? Was that a significant factor and did it differ much between standalone and consolidated?
Other income was noticeable. For Q4 FY25, consolidated other income was 31.33 crore rupees, up from 26.59 crore rupees last year and 19.99 crore rupees last quarter. Standalone other income was 23.46 crore rupees, up from 19.63 crore rupees last year and 13.90 crore rupees last quarter. A key point for the full year standalone other income, Note 3, is that it included a significant dividend of 47.50 crore rupees received from a subsidiary. This likely explains the income spike seen in Q2 FY25 in the investor presentation graphs.
Right, that subsidiary dividend is important context for the annual figure. Looking at profitability margins then, given the lower revenue but varied profit movements over the full year versus Q4 decline, what can we say?
For Q4 FY25, the consolidated net profit margin, PAT, divided by revenue from ops, was roughly 44.7%, which is lower than the approximately 53.7% in Q4 FY24. The standalone net profit margin for Q4 FY25 was about 44.5%, down from roughly 52.6% in Q4 FY24. So margins compressed in the fourth quarter compared to the previous year, reflecting the drop in profits outpacing the revenue decline for that specific quarter. However, looking at the full year, the margins remained quite healthy overall.
Were there any exceptional items reported in the quarter or full year that might have affected these results?
No, there were no exceptional items reported in either the standalone or consolidated results for the quarter or the year ended March 31, 2025. This means the profits we're seeing are likely reflective of their core business operations without one-off adjustments.
Good to know. What about the balance sheet? Any key takeaways from the consolidated view as of March 31, 2025?
Looking at the consolidated balance sheet, total equity attributable to owners stood at 1,760.34 crore rupees, up significantly from 1,463.34 crore rupees the previous year, driven by retained earnings. Total assets reached 2,162.14 crore rupees, up from 1,781.65 crore rupees. Segment-wise, from Note 2, depository activities hold the largest chunk of assets, followed by data entry and storage. Liabilities remain relatively low compared to assets.
And cash flow? Any highlights from the consolidated cash flow statement? Did they mention the dividend payment?
Yes, the consolidated cash flow statement shows positive cash flow generated from operations for the full year FY25. Significant cash outflow was seen in investing activities, primarily due to purchases of investments in property, plant, and equipment. Under financing activities, the major outflow was the dividend paid during the year, amounting to nearly 230 crore rupees. The board has also recommended a final dividend of 12.50 rupees per share for FY24-25, which is subject to shareholder approval.
Okay, let's dig into the segments more deeply. How did the different parts of the business perform on a consolidated basis?
The segment results, profit before tax, clearly show the dominance of the depository activity segment. For the full year FY25, it contributed 457.24 crore rupees to the profit before tax. The data entry and storage segment also performed well, contributing 125.11 crore rupees. The repository segment, however, reported a loss of 7.17 crore rupees for the year. Looking specifically at Q4 FY25, depository activity profit was 78.35 crore rupees. Data entry and storage profit was 18.22 crore rupees. And the repository segment had a loss of 1.52 crore rupees.
So depository services is clearly the main engine. How did the Q4 segment performance compare year over year and quarter over quarter?
Compared to Q4 FY24, the depository segment profit in Q4 FY25, 78.35 crore rupees, was down from 108 crore rupees. Data entry profit, 18.22 crore rupees, was down from 33.32 crore rupees. Quarter over quarter, depository profit was down from 120.53 crore rupees in Q3 and data entry profit was down from 29.21 crore rupees in Q3. So the Q4 softness was evident across the main segments.
Putting it all together, how would you summarize the overall performance, especially considering the full year versus the Q4 trends?
For the full year FY24-25, CDSL delivered a strong performance, especially on the profit front, both standalone and consolidated, driven primarily by the core depository business and likely benefiting from higher market activity earlier in the year, and that subsidiary dividend on the standalone side. However, the fourth quarter Q4 FY25 showed a clear moderation, with both revenue and profits declining year over year and quarter over quarter across both standalone and consolidated levels, and across the main operating segments. This could indicate impacts from market volatility affecting transaction volumes or potentially rising costs, though the expense details show some cost lines increasing while others moderated.
Beyond the financials, were there any other significant notes or events mentioned in the reports or the presentation?
Yes, quite a few positive points. As mentioned, the board recommended a final dividend of 12.50 rupees per share. They highlighted crossing the 14.50 crore Demat account milestone. The investor presentation showcased new initiatives like multilingual ECAS and a multilingual chatbot, the NEEV at 25 financial literacy campaign, and a thought leadership report on digital trust and capital markets. They also appointed a new secretarial auditor, M/S Vatsal Doshi and Associates. One item to note from the financial statement notes, Note 6, is the ongoing arbitration matter related to Anugrah Stock and Broking. An award was passed against CDSL, which they have challenged in the Bombay High Court. Management believes they have a good case and hasn't made a provision for it, assessing no impact is required currently.
Okay, that arbitration case is something to keep an eye on. Now, a critical part. The auditor's report. What did the auditors, S.R. Batliboi and Company LLP, say about both the standalone and consolidated results? Any qualifications or red flags?
This is a very important point, especially when comparing to other company reports we might discuss. For CDSL, the auditors, S.R. Batliboi and Company LLP, issued an unmodified opinion on both the standalone and the consolidated financial results for the year ended March 31, 2025.
Unmodified? Can you explain what that means for our listeners?
An unmodified opinion is essentially a clean bill of health from the auditors. It means that, in the auditor's view, the financial statements present a true and fair view of the company's financial position and performance in accordance with the applicable accounting standards Ind AS in this case. There were no qualifications or adverse opinions.
So no major disagreements or issues highlighted by the auditors regarding the financial reporting?
Correct. The auditor's report does contain an other matter paragraph which is standard practice. It clarifies that the consolidated results include figures from subsidiaries and an associate audited by other auditors whose reports S.R. Batliboi relied upon. This is normal for consolidation. It also mentions how the Q4 figures are derived as balancing figures between the full year audited results and the 9-month figures. But the key takeaway is the opinion itself is unmodified, which signifies that the auditors found the financial statements to be materially accurate and fairly presented. This provides a good degree of confidence in the reported numbers.
That's a significant positive, especially compared to situations where auditors raise flags. So considering everything, the strong full-year results but softer Q4 segment performance, the dividend, new initiatives, and the clean audit report, what's the outlook?
Disclaimer: as always, we advise investors to conduct their own due diligence and consult with certified financial experts before making any investment decisions. CDSL's outlook seems broadly positive, underpinned by its dominant market position, the structural growth trend of financialization in India, leading to more demat accounts, and its ongoing technological initiatives. The healthy profitability and clean audit report are definite strengths. However, the Q4 slowdown highlights its sensitivity to market transaction volumes and potentially competitive pressures. Key risks would include sustained market downturns impacting revenue streams, regulatory changes, and cybersecurity threats inherent in their business. The Anugrah arbitration case also remains a point to monitor, although management seems confident.
Great summary. So, wrapping up our discussion on CDSL's Q4 and FY25 results.
To summarize, CDSL capped off a strong financial year 25 with healthy overall profit growth, particularly on a consolidated basis, largely driven by its core depository segment. However, the fourth quarter showed noticeable sequential and year-over-year moderation in both revenue and profit across standalone and consolidated figures. Key positives include the continued growth in demat accounts, new digital initiatives, a good dividend recommendation, and importantly clean, unmodified opinions from their auditors on both sets of financial statements. The main things to watch will be the recovery in transaction-linked income and the progress of the Anugrah arbitration case.
Excellent analysis. Thanks for breaking that down for us. That's all the time we have for today. Join us next time for more financial insights.